least let's get all the facts on these things and what all's out there and the overall impact. I would feel more comfortable with that. Now, I think that's what Senator Gotro and others have been trying to say it. Nobody wanted to say it. I'm just going to say it. I just think we'd be better off. I think the idea is a good one. I think we ought to do something. But right now, this is all I got.
Does that conclude your question?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Senator Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Certainly I, too, have lost a youngster. He was 29. Great guy. He's gone. We still love him. The two questions I have is, are trailers that you're concerned about currently inspected?
They should be.
Yes, sir. They have to be they have to be inspected annually.
Do they are they interested in whether the chains are really rusted looking, or it looks like it's eaten up with rust or scrapes or damaged or anything like that? And if so, do they insist that they are replaced?
Yes, sir. They do. If the structural integrity of those chains seem to be in question, then it would be rejected, and they would be required to have new ones installed.
And do you have any information regarding the accidents, the ones that have come loose, as to whether those chains would have met inspection at the time that the accident occurred?
No, sir, I do not.
See, I think we have two possibilities here. I don't know that. That maybe and we recognize that even when my automobile is inspected, I can drive out of the driveway and suddenly have something that wouldn't have passed inspection and go for another year maybe.
Yes, sir.
But so what I'm thinking is, I think that would be interesting to know what kind of chain gave way. Was it one that met the inspection criteria, or was it one that had deteriorated so since the last inspection? That's just a question in my mind, and I don't know, and I'm not suggesting that we continue with chains or otherwise. But they are inspected.
Yes, sir. They're required to be inspected.
Then the only other thing I want to say, Mr. Chairman, in regard to this meeting today, I appreciate this very much, because I've never in my life been concerned about a trailer going down the road one way or the other. I was just paying attention to what I was doing. I didn't realize that I was in grave danger every time I come upon one, but apparently I am, and my family is. And so I too am interested in doing those things which will bring about a greater safety on our highways. I just don't know, I'm not the guy that can say exactly how to do that, but I am interested in trying something. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Milazzo, who is the manufacturer of your device?
Sir, at this time, I have been manufacturing. But let me just say this, I'm not going to be long. In the manufacturing stage of this thing, it could be done by draw tie to anybody. This is better. The safety chain shouldn't even be used in that application.
Okay, sir, you answered my question.
They can be.
Now, Major, my question for you is, the worst thing you can do with me is give me handouts and time to read them.
Yes, sir.
Under State Police Weights and Standards approval of safety devices,
yes,
B is, in order to be approved, the device shall be produced, manufactured, and constructed by bonded and insured manufacturer, substance who carries product liability insurance. And all, we have the test stuff. You have the bonding and all. You are the manufacturer.
Yes, sir. I have a $2 million product liability on that. And for $49.95 on your regular bumper pulls, I'll give you $2 million worth of insurance with it. And you can, and I do have these things out there that have different elevations. And you don't have to, if you realize the bumper pull is just, all you need is a set of clips on your vehicle, a set of clips on the trailer, and you're in business. And you can use your regular inserts. You don't have to. I have a system set up.
I'm going to ask you a question in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Is the Highway Safety Commission here? Seems kind of odd, doesn't it? You normally here.
No.
Probably skimming oil.
You have a letter for Jim Champagne in there, but he's not with you.
Yep. I read that letter. He suggested we do a pilot program.
Well, yes, sir. That was some time
all,
back. Yes, sir. That was some time back.
Yes, sir. I wish the current director of the Safety Commission would have been here if we own a bill that does nothing but deal with highway safety. Major Major, I doubt that you have the answer to this, and you may. But when you have these statistics about separation of units in transport, how is that defined? Is that when the chains fail, or is that when the hitch comes loose from the ball?
That's when the chains fail, and usually what happens is that it's through ignorance that somebody will put a 2-inch tongue on a 1 7/8 inch ball.
Or even more common than that is forget to latch it down.
Or forget to latch it down. Yes, sir.
Slide it forward.
Yes, sir.
It's normally air failure. You could have that with his product.
Yes, sir.
Exactly the same thing.
Yes, sir, you could.
Yeah, if you don't hook it up right, you don't hook it up right.
That's right.
Most of the time chains breaks is because they do dangle, like you were stating, and they wear on the highway to where you lose the tensile strength of them. So again, that's human error.
Yes, sir.
If this thing drags in response thing, you could have wear there.
Yes.
It's all the same thing. We only have one approved device over in Louisiana.
State police has only been presented with one device, and that's Mr. Milagro's device.
I assume the reason we got a 10-12 date is to allow you to gear up your manufacturing to get a draw tight or somebody that would produce them for Louisiana.
Sir, yes, I can't manufacture them all, but there'll be manufacturers coming out to Woodward to do this.
Yep, we pass a sole source law.
And I'll let them have
OSB have a number of registered traders in Louisiana?
I have that number, Senator. It's 975,101. And I would imagine that would include any E-plate.
I'm sorry, that's the total number of registered traders in the state. I want the number that are registered annually. In other words, new registrations annually. You're not. I thought y'all had everything. It's in the thousands,
Oh, yes, sir.
tens of thousands, 10 to 15,000 a year. And this thing costs how much? When you got to weld onto the trailer, you got to weld some clips on the trailer.
No, sir, that's not the whole thing. You can bolt on. I sold some. You could have a bolt-on bracket. You just need a set of clips, but it's bolt-on with grade 8 bolts, or it can be welded in the manufacturing stages. It can be welded on, will be welded on. But to retrofit some of the trailers that people wanted them, they can bolt them on. There's a Dr. Bond bed. You have a letter.
There is an installation cost, and then you got to buy the two parts,
sir.
the part that goes on the trailer and the part that goes on the vehicle.
Right. It costs you $70 to have a set of chains replaced for our trailer manufacturer. $70.
How much does it cost, you think, to do yours?
Mine, you could get it down to $100 or less. That's for the insert. It can be fabricated to different elevations. The 3-hole bumper connection, $49.95. All you need is the plate that bolts on opposite the ball bolts, and bam, you're in business right there. So that'll take a lot of them off.
Has your device ever been tested for directional stability? In other words, if it comes off, is the trailer going to still weave behind the vehicle?
Sir, my safety device is independent of the primary towing device. It is the bar and the chain and the clip system with the shafts. It doesn't have anything to do with the primary towing device. Unlike what you was asking Major White, that this could happen to mine. Mine is a safety device that replaces the so-called safety chain. Okay, it has nothing to do with anything else. When the primary towing device fails, this picks it up. If you go to YouTube, you see what it's doing. That bar will allow the trailer to deviate off the center 6 to 8 inches at the most. And then my wife is backing it up with me inside there. I'm doing 40, 50 miles an hour with this thing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Major, how come if state police feels this strongly with you in your position, do y'all use them on state police vehicles?
No, sir, we haven't. But after thinking, and I've testified on this bill on the House side, and I've testified now today about this bill, and I do feel that state police should put these on all of our trailers, and I'm going to recommend to Colonel Edmondson that we do so.
that would at least be a pilot study,
Yes, sir.
y'all could see.